achieved.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into Studio Day Halfway, the day after the Super Bowl. Congrats to Patty Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Oh, and all the former Cowboys. Would you have Anthony Hitchens, Damian Wilson, Charvarius Ward? Congrats. I think Mo gets a ring, huh? That's a lot of ex-Cow. All right, go Cowboys. All right, but that's not the topic of today's video. The topic of today's video is the latest news that Adam Schefter says that the Cowboys and Dak Prescott are headed straight for a franchise tag situation, and I'd like to look Jerry dead in the eye and tell him this. Pay Dak. I know there's more nuance to this than is allowed on places like social media and YouTube, and I'll acknowledge the nuance that, yeah, you know, oh, Dak's people want $45 million. Do you want to give him that? No, I get it. But man, the Cowboys are locked into, well, you know, we've mapped out who's going to get what, and we've got this thing all planned out, and our quarterback, sorry, this is what we think you're worth. Don't play this game. You don't want to play this game. You can survive this game. You can tag him once, but you're in win now. Cowboys are in win now. The offensive line, they're not going to hold up forever. They're still very, very good. But that's not holding up forever. You got to figure out an Amari Cooper and a Byron Jones situation, and can we tag these guys? Well, let's free the tag up. Because I need it. I need it for Byron. I want to tag Byron. Maybe I want to tag Coop. Maybe I want to tag both of them, transition and franchise. Maybe I want to tag Amari Cooper with the non-exclusive tag and see if somebody's nuts enough to offer him a big deal and have to give me 2 first-round picks. I need these options. Pay the quarterback. He's good. I know. I'm going to get thumbs down on this post because there's some haters out there. You got a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and you pay for that, and that's that. Jimmy Garoppolo, when he got his deal, I think he set the market, didn't he? He's top of market at like $27 a year. That number's going up and up and up and up and up. So when you pay Dak his $34, $35 million a year, we're going to look back at it 3 years from now and be like, oh, Dak's making 35, and guys are signing deals for $48 million a year, and it won't be that big of a deal. It's the quarterback. Now, here's the other thing. Here's rule number 1. This is rule number 1 in contract negotiations in the NFL. We don't side with the owners. We side with the players, okay? We don't let the owners who put in the salary cap and tricked us all in. No, we don't cheer for them. You're not allowed to cheer for them. It's all a trick. And it works on me sometimes, like with running backs. I refuse to pay running backs because there's a salary cap. We don't do that. We don't pay running backs. You don't have to have a highly paid running back. It doesn't help you. But even then, I'm breaking my own rule because here's what the owners did. The owners tricked us. Put in a salary cap, right? Oh, it's going to be so competitive and everybody's got a chance to win and all this and all that. But what's really happening is when the Cowboys can't sign Dak and they say, pooh, we offered him top 5 quarterback money. Now the fans are like, Dak's not signing the deal. What's he doing, dude? So no, you don't get to put in a mechanism to artificially make sure you can make a certain amount of money as an owner and then trick me into pulling against the players when they're just trying to get fair market value. Okay, great. Got that established. That's rule number 1. And rule number 2 is you ain't winning crap without a quarterback. So pay Dak Prescott. We'll figure it out as we go. It's a win-now window for the Cowboys. I don't want to hear about it. Quarterback's good, and he gets better every year. If you got complaints about Dak Prescott, I think you need to take a big look inside yourself. What's really going on in there? Dak's good. He's good. You see all the throws Patty missed last night? I caught hell a couple weeks ago for saying, hey, Patrick Mahomes is probably the best quarterback in the league. He's also not one of the most accurate. Kind of goes all over the place, but he'll make giant plays for you, and he is the best. But, like, we all draw up this really weird place where other quarterbacks every week, it's like, oh, Dak threw a pick that a guy didn't catch, and the ball was here instead of here. And it's like, good quarterbacks hit him in stride, put that on the money. You watched Patty Mahomes win the Super Bowl last night? Back here for Tyreek Hill, 4 uncatchable passes to running backs that are simple swing routes. Like, the other quarterbacks aren't flawless. Stop hating on yours. Dak's really good. Pay that man, Jerry Jones. Thank you. All right. Time now for a mock draft roundup. Maybe I'll just keep firing shots at all sorts of different people. So I looked at 4 different mock drafts this morning. Tell me which one you like. By the way, make sure you're leaving in the comments what you want to talk about tomorrow so that I can get to you. You know, we got people here. That's what I'm going to do here is a lot of comments from people from the last video on Friday. So leave those. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube page. Thanks. Lance Zierlein, NFL.com. Lance Zierlein does the work. He's a good dude. He's a good draft dude. He picks the Cowboys' Xavier McKinney at number 17, the Alabama safety. Picks you a thumping guy, can kind of cover over the slot some. He's a good player. I don't think his ceiling is as high as Grant Delpit's. That's why I'm a Delpit man over Xavier McKinney. But McKinney's a good player. CBS Sports has two different mocks. And what do? One's Grant Delpit, one's Xavier McKinney. Those are the names. Those are the names that are going to keep popping up. Now, I want to go to my buddy Dalton Miller. Blue Chip Scouting. That's my dude. He came over to the Super Bowl party. He works hard. Follow his work. My guy traded down. He did a mock draft with trades, which is always more fun to read and see. Oh, wow, it's getting wild. Look at him go. Miami goes up to 2 for Tua, and then I think he had the Chargers come up to 3 for Justin Herbert, and whoo, here go all the quarterbacks, and it's a blast. We're having a great time. And then, oh, no, there went CeeDee Lamb off the board, and then, oh, no, there went Henry Ruggs off the board, but he got to number 17, and do you know who was still on the board? Jerry Jeudy, Alabama wide receiver, the best route runner in the class. All he does is get open all the time. And this is going to lead me into a best player versus need discussion. And I say this knowing, like, Dalton's higher on the player that he picked for the Cowboys. He traded back. He went back to 22, added another top 100 pick, and then shipped away, I think, a 6 or whatever. But he moved back to 22, and at 22, he took Jeff Gladney, TCU cornerback. And I would be in that room throwing things and punching people and shaking people by the neck and saying Jerry Jeudy's on the board. Because for me, Jerry Jeudy will be a top 10 player in this draft. Jeff Gladney will be top 30. Dalton likes Gladney more than that, so that trade makes sense for him. But in my world, you'd be trading away from a top 10 player in a draft class. And that's what I like about 17. At 17, what the Cowboys are going to do is they're just going to watch this thing play out. And I think they're going to stick and pick because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how many quarterbacks are going to go early. We don't know how many of the offensive tackles are going to go early because there's a bunch of good ones. And what's going to push down that board? The names I would love to see pushed down the board, Derek Brown, Auburn D tackle, probably won't happen. Jeffrey Okudah, cornerback, Ohio State, couldn't see that happening. Isaiah Simmons, Clemson linebacker, couldn't see that happening. Javon Kinlaw, maybe one of these D tackles makes it to 17. Maybe Jeudy or CeeDee Lamb makes it to 17. There's not a ton of receivers that get picked early. Maybe Ruggs goes before one of them. Maybe T. Higgins is loved by somebody. We don't know how it's going to play out. But I'm team stick and pick until we get to the draft and they go to 17 and I go, oh, they took all my 16 best players right in front of us. And now I'm picking between C.J. Henderson, Florida corner, and Jeff Gladney, and Trevon Diggs, the Alabama corner. I think that's why people keep settling on these safeties for the Cowboys is because when you play out a mock draft, the guys that you are having get taken, it ends up that that's kind of your best player available or close to it, and it fits a need for the Cowboys, so you just rock that pick. But Dalton, no, sir. We pick Jerry Jeudy, and then we figure out what to do. Even if you've signed Cobb and you brought back Amari Cooper, we pick Jerry Jeudy because we don't pass on the best players in the draft. We don't do that. That's how you look back 2 years from now while Judy's a 1,200-yard receiver and you've got a second-round corner who's kind of just going up and down. You're like, well, we drafted a starter at a position of need, and he's over here making Pro Bowls. Take Jeudy. Let me see here. Camper ND says topic for discussion. I know this may not be popular, but I'm curious about your thoughts on letting Amari Cooper go in free agency and finding our next number one receiver in this draft class. I'm starting to think it may be a viable solution given our defensive questions. For example, if I have to sign either Amari or Byron Jones long term, Byron may be a harder player to replace in this draft. Just not excited about paying long-term money to Amari Cooper. Maybe tag and see how next season goes as another option to consider. I love the tag Amari Cooper idea. Now, that all goes back to the beginning of this video. Hey, Jerry, we got to pay the quarterback right now. Okay, I need my tags elsewhere. Pay the quarterback. Just pay him. Don't be stupid. If you're going to win the Super Bowl, you need him. Finding a number one in this draft, the two guys who I think project as number ones, CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. I think I could see both of them being number one receivers. Everyone else in this draft class, I think you're looking at guys that can definitely help your team, but I don't know that we're talking about 90 catch, 1,200-yard seasons. But we also never know. Like, there's going to be one or two of these guys in this draft class that we didn't really see it coming. And it's a really good wide receiver group, so you can definitely get help, but I don't think you can get an immediate replacement for a number one wide receiver. I think that's crazy, and I don't want to put that on Michael Gallup. Let Gallup have another really good year as the second guy, and we'll reevaluate. But for now, I don't want him taking on that responsibility. Jeff, I heard on 105.3 today that if Dak got the non-restricted franchise tag and another team outbid us, we'd get 2 first-round picks for losing Dak. So if we put the non-restricted franchise tag on Amari Cooper and let another team outbid us, could we get the first-round pick we spent for him back to let him go? No, you would get 2. That's the rules. You get 2 first-round picks, which is why I think that's a safe way to keep Amari Cooper, is the non-exclusive franchise tag. I don't think anybody's going to give up 2 first-round picks for the right to sign him away from you. Christopher Wallace, Jeff, do you think the Cowboys are stuck on 2 Super Bowls if not for Jimmy? If you believe yes, that would make the Cowboys the Dallas version of Washington. Ouch. Do you think Dallas drafts best player available no matter the position, need, or a little bit of both? Any potential? Okay, there's a lot there. Free agent signings are status quo. P.S. The dog is the best part of the podcast. You hear that, Stump? You got a fan. She's just laying under the table today. She's being a good girl. Let's see. Let me work through this step by step. No, I don't think they're stuck on 2 Super Bowls if not for Jimmy. As long as whoever the other coach was that came in at the same time as Jerry made the Herschel Walker trade. I think Jimmy was a big part of it, of picking the players and I guess okaying the trade. But I think the Herschel Walker, and that's why it's like when people are like, why can't we be like it was when Jimmy was here? Make another Herschel Walker trade. I don't think there's another team in the league that'll ever make that mistake again and give up as much capital as they did to take a past his prime Herschel Walker. That was, the dynasty came from the trade. Jimmy's part of it. All the players are part of it. Jerry's part of it, but it came from that trade. All right, that's enough for today. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn on the notifications so you're getting your Cowboy content first. Check 105.3thefan.com every day. I'll see you boys on the radio. Go Chiefs. Go Patty Mahomes.